Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to Milanese Math. Today we're going to be talking about how to multiply and divide fractions. And as always, if you want to follow along with this worksheet that we're going to be using, you can find it at the first link in the description below. Okay, so we just got done doing a segment on how to add and subtract fractions, and we had to worry about common denominators and things like that. Luckily for multiplication and division, you don't need to worry about that. The technique here is going to be to multiply straight across. So straight across the numerators and straight across the denominators. So let's look at number 1, for example, where I've got 2/3 times 3/4. So I'm going to take the 2 times the 3 to get 6. That's going to be my numerator. And multiply the bottoms. 3 times 4. That's going to give me 12. And that's our new denominator. So 6/12. Now we're done unless we can simplify. So multiply straight across and then check to see if you can reduce or simplify. And 6/12 will reduce to 1/2. Okay? And that's all there is to it. All you're doing is multiplying straight across and then see if you can reduce. Okay? So 4/5 times 19/20. Well, I could multiply straight across, top and bottom. And if I do 4 times 19, I'm going to get 76. And 5 times 20 is 100. Okay, now got to check and see if you can reduce it. And in this case, you can because they're both divisible by 4. So that would give us, if we do 76 divided by 4, that's 19. And 100 divided by 4 is 25. So it reduces to 19/25. So that's how you multiply two fractions together. But what about division? Well, the rule for this says that, like for example, on number 3, where it says 2/7 divided by 1/2. The rule is to take the second fraction, which is 1/2, and flip it, and then use multiplication. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to go below here and rewrite it. So the 2/7 stays the same. We're going to flip the 1/2 and call that 2/1. And then instead of division, we're going to use multiplication. Okay? So when we flip a fraction, the fancy word for that is the reciprocal of the fraction. So you use the reciprocal and multiply. Okay, so now we do just like we were doing before. 2 times 2 across the top is 4. 7 times 1 across the bottom is 7. 4/7 does not reduce, so we're done. Okay, let's try another one kind of like that. Okay, 4/9 divided by 3/6. So the rule says take the reciprocal, or the inverted, the flip of the second fraction. So we'll call that 6/3. And instead of division, we're going to multiply. Okay. Now 4 times 6 is 24, and 9 times 3 is 27. Okay. Now this will reduce to 8/9, and you're done. So just remember, if you just have multiplication, just multiply straight across and check to see if you can reduce when you're done. With division, all you're going to do is flip the second fraction and then multiply just like you did. So I want you to, before this gets any more complicated, go ahead and try numbers 5 through 8, and then we'll pick up below that. Okay, so assuming you've had a chance to do that, let's look at number 9. It's the same basic process. It's still multiplication, but now we have a mixed number. So you need to know a little bit about how to change that to an improper fraction. The way I always explain to do this is if you have a mixed number, just change it to an improper fraction and then do your normal multiplication technique. So how do we, let me just come up here so I've got more room. If I had 2 2/3, how would I rewrite that as an improper fraction? So just as a refresher, if you've forgotten how to do this, you take the denominator times the whole number and then add the numerator. So 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. And then you just put it over whatever the original denominator was. So we could rewrite 2 2/3 as 8/3. And so I'll do that here. So really this is 8/3 times 2/8. Now, I'm going to show you, well, let me just keep going, and then I want to backtrack for a second and show you something else. So 8 times 2 is 16. 3 times 8 is going to give me 24. And then, of course, I'll look to reduce that, and it does. It'll simplify to 2/3. Now, some of your math teachers might be kind of yelling at me that I'm not doing something that they would normally show you how to do. And this is a classic example of like there's more than one way to get the right answer in a math class sometimes, and this is it. Let me just backtrack for a second. Keep in mind that the correct answer here is 2/3. I want to show you one other thing that you can do. And I usually wait a second to show this so that you can get the hang of what you're doing before you start seeing this step. But a shortcut, which I'm going to put in air quotes, is to, before you start multiplying straight across, is to look and see if there's anything that you can simplify within your fraction before you get going. And in this case, there's a pretty big one. Look at the top of the first fraction and the bottom, or the denominator of the second fraction. They're both 8s, which means you can cross those out and call them 1s, because 8 divided by 8 is just 1. So that's a shortcut, because now the only thing left in the numerator is a 2, and the only thing left in the denominator is a 3. So in that regard, it is a faster way to get to the final answer. Sometimes I find that students kind of just get confused on that step and like start to obsess about, well, how much can you reduce them? Which is why I kind of just show it in the beginning is just multiply straight across and then just check your final answer to see if it will reduce at that point. There's not necessarily a wrong way to do it. That's just how I kind of show my students. So let's do a couple more like this. Let me scoot up here. Number 10 is 4 5/6 times 3/5. So again, I want to rewrite 4 5/6 as an improper fraction. So I'm going to do 6 times 4 and then add the 5. So 6 times 4 is 24, plus 5 is 29 over 6. Okay, so 4 5/6 is going to be rewritten as 29/6, and then we can do 3 times 5. Now, you can use that little technique because we've got a 3 and a 6, and you can do some simplification there. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just going to multiply straight across and get 87 over 30. By the way, there's nothing wrong with that technique. It will prevent you from getting really big numbers. But I typically say if you can kind of look at that and do some simplification, you're going to be okay. And in this case, it will reduce to 29 over 10. And if you are allowed to leave it as an improper fraction, then you're good to go. Okay, let's do another one like that. How would I convert 3 and 2/7? Well, 7 times 3 is 21, plus 2 is 23 over 7, sorry. Okay, now the weird thing here is that this is divided by 1/3. So remember, the technique here is to flip it and multiply. So the reciprocal of 1/3 is 3 over 1. Okay, now, if I've got this, now I can just multiply straight across. I've got 23 times 3 is going to be 69, and 7 times 1 is going to be 7. And again, since we're just leaving these as improper fractions, we're going to be okay there. Okay, one last one. We're going to have to convert both of these. 1 1/2 would be 3 halves, and 2 1/5 is going to be 11/5. And now we can multiply straight across and get 33 over 10. And assuming you're okay with improper fractions, you're done. If the directions had said change it to a mixed number, just take a second and say, wait a second, how many times will 10 divide into 33? How many whole times will it divide in? That'd be 3, right? Well, if you divide it in 3, you would have 3 left over out of 10. So you can rewrite it as a mixed number that way. Okay, so at this point, I would go ahead and pause. Try to work out the rest of these on your own. Hopefully this video was helpful about how to multiply and divide fractions. If it was, consider subscribing to the channel. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.